uh, opposite word, ma'am.
Opposites.
Good,
Okay.
good,
Yes.
good antonym bad.
Sorry.
One word good antonyms bad.
Very good. Good example, right? So he's given us the word good, and the antonym of good is bad, right? So similarly, we'll be looking at some little higher level words, okay? Not the simple ones like good and bad and happy and sad. We'll look at slightly different ones, all right? So I'll show you a word and I'll give you two words below that, and you have to pick the correct answer choice, all right? So yes, here is your word. Yes. Can you please read that? Deepak?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please read it. Is it visible for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, read it.
First one is obscenity, and second is notoriety.
Okay, so what was the question? What is the word in the question? You have to
What?
pick the antonym of the word anonymity. Please read the question word. Okay, the question word was anonymity. Please repeat. Deepak?
Anonymity. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, anonymity. Yes, anonymity. And what were the two
Anonymity.
answer choices? What were the two words that you had as the choices?
Second one, ma'am.
Read the
I
word, please. Yes, read the first and the second word.
yes, ma'am. First is obscenity, second is notoriety.
Okay, so you have obscurity and notoriety. So first, let's look at the meanings of these words. Okay, well, what was the word in the question?
Uh,
Deepak, the word was anonymity, right? In the
yes, ma'am.
question, yes. So you cannot just simply read words. We have to make sense here, okay? Don't just simply say one, two, three, doesn't make any sense, right? First, the word in the question. The word in the question was anonymity. Let's look at the meaning of anonymity. Anonymity means something which is not known. You don't know. Let's say somebody comes to your house and gives you a letter and there is no name in it, right? That is anonymous. You don't know who it is. Or you get a phone call and somebody is talking to you. You have no idea who this person is. So that is anonymous, something which you don't know. Any person or a thing that you don't know is anonymous. Okay, similarly, let's look at obscurity. Okay, to see some students logging in. Yes, obscure also means something which you don't know, something which is uncertain. Okay, so obscure and anonymity are more or less similar. However, notoriety, that means somebody, you know someone for all their bad qualities. Let's say if there is a local gunda in your area, then he is notorious for being that person, right? You all know him because he is not a nice person, so he is notorious. Notorious or notoriety means somebody is known for all their bad. So the opposite of anonymity here will be notoriety. All right. Okay, let's quickly look at students on the chat. A lot of students logging in. So hi, welcome to the session. Right, let's continue. We'll continue with our next participant. Let's move on to somebody whose name, who's logged in from a mobile 27831. Who's this? Is it Meena? 27831, the last four digits, last five digits. Okay, I don't hear from you, so I'm moving on to Anupam Kumari. Anupam? Okay, I don't hear Anupam as well. How about Aryan? Aryan, are you there? Okay, what's wrong with the class today? Gurudas Dhali? Gurudas, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, finally we have somebody who can answer. All right, Gurudas, here's your question. So read the word in the question and the two answer choices. Yeah, please read. Please read, Gurudas. I can't hear you, Gurudas. Okay, you're also refusing to speak. You're all on mute. I will have to proceed because I don't hear students speaking. So, and I noticed your message, Anupam, you're unable to speak. That's fine. Okay, so, and Raj Ravilya, You're saying you're not able to see the question, so maybe you should refresh or log out and log in. So here we're looking at a new word, revolting. Okay, so the meaning of to revolt is when you go against something. For example, let's say if the price of petrol goes up, then people will not be able to handle that price. They will all go against the government, against the institution that's putting the price for the petrol. So they kind of because of the anger and that confusion, they sort of begin to maybe have a strike, or maybe have any other signs of showing their disapproval or this discontent, right? So that is to revolt. Similarly, rebel. Rebel, again, when you say something like, for example, children, you tell them to do something and they do not follow you, they rebel. They say no. Let's, for example, say you're going to set a time to watch TV, and if they've crossed that time for TV, you tell them, no, you cannot watch any more TV. Then they will rebel. There's a crying and there's a howlings, and they still want to continue watching. That is to rebel. So revolt and rebel is an action of showing something that you're against. Okay. Now let's look at the word enticing. Enticing is something that is very attractive, something that makes you happy, something that gives you all the energy, like in a very positive sense, right? You're attracted to something, you're tempted to something. That is to be enticed. So the opposite of revolt is to go against, and entice is when you're really happy and you go ahead and you're tempted and you feel positive there. That's the opposite of revolt, is entice. All right, let's quickly look at students on the chat. Students, a lot of you are logging in here. Surendra Beta, you're asking me, please, can you say me the meaning of this word revolt? Exactly, that's what I just told you. To be against something is revolt, okay? Adrol Simpson, this is a live session, right? Yes, it is daytime here in India. But I'm continuing. Let's see who's our next participant. Students, if you're not willing to speak and participate in the class, I really recommend that you don't have to be pro learners. Okay, you will have to be pro learners and you can speak to me, make use of that. So I'll move on to our next participant. Let's try with Himanshu.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, Himanshu, you'll have to speak a little louder, please.
Yeah, ma'am. Now is it okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a little better. So here's your question. Yeah, so read the word in the question and then pick the answer choice.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, like I said, always, yes, please read the question. Even if you don't know the answer, that's fine. Read the question and the answer choices. All right, yeah, please read.
Choose the correct antonym of seclude. And I guess blend, and it went right.
Okay, let's understand the meanings of these words, right? So what is to be seclude or to be secluded?
No idea, ma'am.
Okay, seclude is to be away. Let's look at the answer choice number 2, quarantine. Are you familiar with that, given the situation we have all been in this past year?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, what do you mean quarantine? Can you be with all people or should you be alone?
Make
Alone,
oneself isolated.
Yes, you have to be isolated, be alone. You cannot interact with everybody. Similarly, seclude is also when you choose yourself to be away from other people, right? So then you seclude yourself. You move away from people. Basically, to be away is to be secluded. And over here, quarantine, mostly from a medical point of view or for any other reason, it is to be away from any contact, right? So that is seclude, quarantine, all of that is to be alone or isolated. Now let's look at the word blend. Let's take, if you were to mix red color and white color, you mix it together, you get another new color, right? You're blending those two colors and you're making a pink color. So you're pretty much mixing. Just the opposite of seclude is to be away completely, and blend is pretty much when you're mixing with something. Okay?
Yeah, ma'am.
Blend, again, it need not always be with colors, it could be with anything. Let's say you've gone to a party and you don't know anybody, but you're still, instead of being secluded, you still want to talk to people who are there, then you're blending and you're just getting along with everybody there. right? So that's the opposite of seclude is to blend. All right. Okay, let's look at the other students on the chat. Mahalakshmi, I'm not sure what's your question. Please, next exam. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask me. All the other students who are here, so welcome. Right, okay. Students who are joining in from Bangladesh and other parts of the world, welcome to the session. Raj Gopal, if you're not able to see the page, the question is not visible, you try refreshing or log out and log in. Please check your internet connectivity as well. Okay, so I'm looking at some answers here. Adril Simpson, what's the meaning of blended family? Blended family, I think pretty much when you have a combination of different types of people and they all get to live and they're all able to mix and sort of cohesively live together. Okay, Saida says makeup is the art of blending colors, right? Okay. You're from Nepal. Okay, Pavan, good. Aryan, you want to say the next answer question? Is that what you're asking me? Okay, so Aryan, please unmute. We have a volunteer here, Aryan. Aryan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here's your question. Since you requested me, so let's hear it from you. Yes, please read the word on the question and then read the two answer choices. Yeah, please read.
Choose the correct answer and term of be joyful.
What are the two words there?
First,
Effervescent, yes.
effervescence and mourn.
Moan. Okay, not mourn, it's moan. Okay, so let's look at the word in the question. What is the word in the question?
Mourn.
In the question. Aryan? What is the question?
Ma'am, question is choose the correct.
Okay, forget that. You don't have to read that. Read that only that one word. Which word are we looking for?
Ma'am, which number? First, second.
Okay, Aryan, I want you to listen. This is all for, not only for Aryan, it's for everybody. When I show you the question, you don't have to read that whole thing. You only have to read the word in the quotes, which says over here, it says, be joyful, right? Okay. So yes, I was asking you what is the word in the question. It is be joyful. That's the word. Okay, so now what is to be joyful? What do you understand by the meaning joyful? Aryan?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by joyful? You must have heard that.
Acha lagna.
In English? To be happy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, when you're joyful, you're very happy. If it starts to rain suddenly, you're happy. There's a lot of joy. Or you get a nice stick of ice cream, then you're full of happiness and there's so much of joy, right? Or if somebody says tomorrow no school, then again you're going to be full of joy, joyful, right? So all of that is to be happy, a lot of excitement, that's to be joy. Similarly, the word effervescent, ideally, when you open a can of cola or soda, there's a lot of bubbles that come out, right? That is the fizz and the effervescent. But when you talk about an emotion or a characteristic, we say when somebody is full of energy, full of enthusiasm, they're bubbling with energy, then we again say effervescent person. Okay, so sort of joyful and effervescent refers to being happy, in short. Now let's look at the word moan. What is moan? Have you heard of that before, Aryan? I'll also give you a clue. It's just the opposite of joyful. So I said joyful is to be happy. So what is moan?
I don't know.
I said the opposite of happy would be what? The opposite. So when I say moan is when you are sad, you're not feeling well. Let's say your dog is no longer with you, then you feel very sad. You moan that he's no longer with you, right? Then that's moan, when you feel sad. So yes, being joyful is being happy and moan is to feel sad. All right, good. You can be on mute, Aryan. Looking at students on the chat.
May I? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, who's this?
Yeah, this is Raji. May I read the next sentence?
Yes, just give me one moment. Let me have a quick look at the chat.
Okay.
Okay, so I do see a student, Asha, from the chat. She's unable to follow what is being taught. Asha, you'll have to follow. If you have any specific question, please feel free to ask me. I know this is an advanced level of antonyms. If you are not able to follow, you will have to, make an effort and see. All right, Asha? Asha, I notice you're a pro learner. So if you're on the live call, you can speak to me. Asha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
That's why I'm asking.
Yes.
could
Okay,
I
I do
give
have a.
Can you repeat,
Yeah.
ma'am, class? What are you, teacher?
Okay, Asha. This is Asha. Am I speaking to Asha?
Yes, ma'am. You speak, ma'am,
Asha, so
please.
today we're doing a session on antonyms. Antonyms means opposites. Okay. So opposite
Okay, ma'am.
means, like when I say happy is a word, the opposite of happy is sad, right? So today we're looking at
Okay.
a whole lot of words. I'll show you a word, and then you'll be given two answer choices. You have to pick the correct answer choice, which is the opposite of that word. Okay,
Okay,
Asha?
ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And
Okay,
if at
ma'am,
any
I
point you have
understand.
any
Okay.
question, yes, please ask me. Right. I'm
Ma'am?
also
Okay.
looking at, yes, who's this?
Deepak, ma'am, could I give one example of moon? Nowadays people are more because of corona.
Okay, so people are mourning because of corona. Okay.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning. M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G. Okay, morning.
Yes.
Okay, right. Thank you,
Okay.
Deep. Okay, a quick look at student on the chat. So there is a student in the chat, Pavan M. If you say this class is too slow, you could perhaps log out. For students who think this class is irrelevant for them, you can move out. All right. Any other question? Okay, sadness opposite. Yeah. Suresh Prushti, I'm sending you the link. Let's look at the other students who are here. Okay, we have a good answer. Joyful heart is a medicine, right? Okay, everyone was mourn at the funeral. So everyone was mourning at the funeral. Okay, Sayada? Okay. Okay, so Malati, I am very mourned to miss my mobile. No, I mourned when I lost my mobile, right? Okay. Aya and the others who have logged in here, welcome to the session. Okay. Yes, sorrow. Yes, good one, Vishnu. Right. Okay, so we are moving on. Let's continue. I think we had another person. Raji, you wanted to answer, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Good. I'd love to see volunteers who come out there. Right. So here's your word. Yeah, please read the word in the question and then.
Rivalry. So the answer may be collaboration.
Very good. Okay, so what is rivalry?
Enmity.
Enmity. Yes,
Enmity.
when you have some kind of a difference of opinion, you don't get along with people or certain things, then they are your rivalry. Okay. Now let's look at the choice number 1. Can you read that word as well?
Contention.
Contention. Good. So what is contention? Have you heard of that before?
No, I haven't, but it's similar like in rivalry means you are arguing about something.
Very nicely said. Yes, pretty much when you're against something is when you have a contention, right? So like in this even rivalry, let's say if we are neighbors, I want to have a white building and you say, no, let's have a red building. And if we don't get along, then there's a rivalry or there is a contention because our thoughts are not, they're clashing, right? So that's contention. Now let's look at the answer, the second choice. What is collaboration?
Collaboration.
Please try. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a similar views from everyone. Collaboration.
Very beautiful. Yes, go on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar view, or when there is good cooperation, when people cooperate, then there's a good collaboration, right?
Yeah.
So rivalry is when you're against, I have another thought, you have another thought, we don't get along, that's rivalry or contention. But collaboration is when you both cooperate and go on together, that's to collaborate or to cooperate.
Yeah, so
Okay?
we should
Very
have good.
beautifully.
Yeah, so we should have good collaboration to learn English from your side and our side as well.
Okay, okay, right. So we collaborate to work together, right? Right.
Okay.
Okay, good. Nice. Let's look at students on the chat. Thank you, Raji. You can be on mute. Let's look at okay. So there is a question from some student, Akash. What's mourn meaning? Mourn is when you feel sad, when there is some sorrow, right? Disappointment. That is to mourn. If your dog passed away, then you mourn because you lost your dog, right? That's to mourn. Okay. Adril, you want to know if morning and mourning are homonym? Yeah, sort of similar, right? The pronunciation, right? So Adril, rivalry, fighting, yes. In cricket, India versus other countries, yes. Collaboration to work like in an MNC. Okay, we have lots of answers coming in there. Good. Okay. Right, let's move on. Let's continue with another participant. Let me call on Logan. Logan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Hi,
here.
Logan. Yes.
Hi,
Here's
ma'am.
your question. So like always, read the word in the question and then pick the answer choice. Okay. Yeah. Please continue.
Furious.
Okay. And what are the two words there?
Yeah, delegate. Delegated.
No. Read that word again. The first word. Please read carefully.
Furious.
Furious is fine. No, I was talking about the choice number 1.
Delegated.
No, it's not delegated. It's delighted.
Yeah. Delighted. Yeah. I
Okay.
didn't
What
see
was the
this.
second? Yes. Please pay attention when you look at those words. Okay. Delegated is a completely different word. Okay. Read
Yeah.
number 2. Answer choice 2.
Ragging.
Raging.
G should be here. Raging.
Raging. Okay. So let's
Raging,
discuss
okay.
the meanings of these words. What is it to be furious?
Furious. It's called, you can say, this cyclone.
Cyclone?
Yeah. It may be abnormal. Abnormal in nature.
Okay, let me give you a situation. Let's say you are going to office and you start your car, it doesn't work. Then you're late to office, you somehow keep driving and then there's a traffic jam and you have a meeting at 9 o'clock. You're still on the road at 9 o'clock. How would you feel? Will you feel happy?
Yeah. No, not happy.
No, you won't be happy. So what is your feeling? Will you feel irritated and angry?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, then you are furious. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. So you are rushing to work, but your car is giving you trouble. There's traffic on the road. Then all of that is furious. It's driving you mad. You just want to reach office, right? That's to be
Yes.
furious. Right. Similarly, let's look at choice number 2. That's raging. Let's say, you were working on your laptop and somebody accidentally poured some water on your laptop.
Okay.
You will be mad, right? If
Yes.
somebody did that to me, I would want to just strangle him. Like, what are you doing? So you'll be so angry. That's rage. So furious and rage, all of that are emotions when you're very angry, very irritated when something goes wrong, right? That is to be angry, furious, rage, all of that. Now let's look at the word delighted. What is delighted? I told you we're looking at antonyms. So now what do you possibly mean by delighted?
It is opposite. It's
Yeah.
going smoothly.
Something that's very happy, anything that gives you happiness. Let's say at this time and age when there's so much of corona and problems happening, something nice that happens to you, you feel delighted, you feel happy, right? No irritation, right?
Okay.
That
It's
is
opposite.
just the opposite. Delighted is when you're happy, you're satisfied, something good is happening, that's to be delighted. It can be anything. Somebody giving you a surprise cake can also be a delight, right?
Okay.
That is delight. Yes. Okay, good. Let's look at students on the chat. Now you can be on mute, Logan. Okay, so I do have some students, Anandi, Priya Singh, and others who are logging in, sending you all the link to speak to me in the live class.
Ma'am, could I give one example?
Yes, please.
When I joined your class, I feel delighted.
Good, okay. So we do have other answers. Raji says angry, April, delighted, pleased, excited. Okay, good ones, April. Angry means furious, anxious. Anxious and furious are not really ideally the same. Anxious is, okay, furious is when you're very irritated. Anxious is like when there's some sort of an anxiety, in the sense uncertainty. Like we don't know how long this lockdown and corona is going to be there around, right? We want it to end. So there's so much of anxiousness. Will it end this month or the next month? That's being a sort of uncertain. That uncertainty can give you anxiety.